We start out on this new road. No turning back. But we have our ancestors with us. We're going to continue to dance with them. Dreaming them. Calling them. Seeing them. We are becoming what we were.
It is part of the Mayan prophecies.
7 triangles of light.
Keep walking. You are the spirit of Unapu. Keep walking. We the human, we are doing the spirit of Unapu.
People who say that the gods made them from corn. They planned their lives according to the heavens. Well versed in astronomy, using a sophisticated mathematics, they calculated the movements of the night sky thousands of years into the past and thousands of years into the future. They knew that the universe moved in cycles. Their lives were ruled by the rhythms of the natural world, planting and harvesting, birth and death, just as the great tree of life emerges from the earth.
Always they're connected. Science and religion.
In dreams, we learn from the Maya gods when to plant and when to harvest, when to set the fire, and when to do the corn ceremony.
What we're digging up, what we're coming up with, is part of our history. And the men that lived here are some of the greatest men we've ever had. And it's a fact that we're getting to know more and more and more about the life of these people.
They still maintain their customs. They still maintain their ways of organizing their societies. And it's very exciting to see how much of the ancient Maya way of life is still alive as well.
Because American history does not begin in 1492 with Columbus. It begins in 200 BC with the first Maya king who wrote his name on a stone. What is happening now is the people who made these places, people like Yashpak or Bird Jaguar or Fakal, are getting back their voices. They are becoming real to us and speaking to the people of the 20th century about who built this place and why and what they felt and what they thought about the world. These are not anonymous people anymore.
You are the spirit of Unapu. Keep walking. We the human, we are doing the spirit of Unapu.
Hello, LA natives.
My natives, we are back.
Appreciate everyone tuning in. Thank you for subscribing to the website. We have some great news coming up. How are you doing, Zero?
I'm doing good, man. I'm a little excited because something potentially is going to happen on Saturday that I wasn't able to do for a long time, almost a whole year. You know, before this whole lockdown thing or all that stuff, I had got booked. I was starting to get booked because of the Regent show. And then, boom, done. And they were like small shows, like 500 each and shit.
So this is going to be your first performance during the grand opening of the world.
Where they don't open anything and they make you follow more rules. I guess, you know what? When you explain the grand opening is like, okay, we're going to do this grand opening, but you got to follow all these rules. And if you don't follow these rules, we're going to lock you up. Or we're going to discredit you. Or we're going to ruin your life. So, I don't know, man. I'm just going to live my life.
Well, apparently they just announced that I think in June they're rolling out vaccines for everybody now. So everyone's eligible by June. And what Walgreens is going to do is deliver the vaccine to your door.
And what if you don't want it?
What do you think is going to happen?
That's great. But it's not mandatory.
I don't think so.
Yeah. They're right. You know what happened is that they were supposed to create a scarcity demand for this vaccine. Like, oh my God, there's only a few, so we're only going to do the workers. And they were supposed to see protests and supposed to see people just getting upset. Why can't I have the vaccine? But what happened was opposite. People started going, whoa, a lot of people are getting hurt on this thing. Why wasn't it tested vigorously? What exactly is this? You know? So it backfired on them. So now they're like, release the vaccine, release it. We'll deliver it. You know, it's like, it didn't create scarcity, which they thought they were going to do when they only said, well, only doctors and medical personnel and stuff like that can get it. Now it's like, well, no, what? There's no line. There's no protest. There's no, people aren't upset about it. Okay, well, let's just give it away.
Well, it just should show you one thing, that if only Walgreens got the contract, not CVS and Rite Aid, just goes to show who they prioritize. It's money, right?
It is a money grab, but more than a money grab.
So basically, they're just telling us Walgreens outbidded those other two companies to make it more affordable for the government to distribute this stuff.
I don't think that's it at all.
Because the government's in it to try to save money, right?
Okay, you got to look at structures in a very specific way, right? Government allows you to do things, but it doesn't prepare things for you. It just allows you to do things. So when we're asking the government to help us with the health crisis, whatever crisis, it's only making legislation to follow rules. That's what government does. That's the position of government, in my opinion. Now, you may be educated, you may know other branches of the government and what's the purpose of it, but for the way I see it, it just legislates and tells people what to do.
So Native Tendencies has a comment. He says, New York, currently the governor is trying to sign a bill that requires their citizens to have a COVID vaccine card to be able to attend concerts, sports, events, etc. What do you feel about that?
Well, that's what I'm getting at. Is that everybody's looking at a government. You're looking at the state government, you're looking at the federal government to give you some sort of help for this medical crisis. Now, it didn't create the protest because people were like, whoa, I'm kind of skeptical at this. What is this? So now it's starting to become, well, everybody's eligible, right? So, like I said before, though, Armando, it's about rules. Because you just said it right now. You're going to need a piece of paper to go and to do these things. Those are rules, legislation, government. It has nothing to do with this is the best way to cure yourself. This is the best way to prevent this from happening to other people. Having rules doesn't prevent anybody from doing anything. As a matter of fact, the moment you make rules, the more people start gravitating to breaking them because they're unrealistic. I'm glad that this is a topic, but think about it. You can't go to a concert, Armando. You can't go to a bar? You can't go to these normal things that we were able to enjoy without anything. Now, we're going to be required to take something that, in my opinion, is very dangerous. When you send signals to a cell, and that cell responds by creating proteins, right? It's not done by going, okay, we're going to give a dead version of this cell into the bloodstream so that the bodies could recognize it, create antibodies, and fight it. Nah, let's just tell the cell to create these spike proteins, right? Let's send the cell a message, right? That's the way they describe it. Let's send the cell a message. The cell gets this message by this RNA, right? This RNA sequence is gonna give the cell a certain message. to create these spike proteins so you can create antibodies, and then it gets defeated. When in the fuck have we ever been on that kind of a level to understand what a blood cell and how a blood cell reacts to certain sequences of gases or whatever the hell they're trying to formulate? Because they're going to tell you, they tell you McDonald's burgers are healthy and good to eat, but they don't decompose. Well, what makes it from decomposing? Chemicals, things that make the hamburger not do that. So here's what I'm trying to say, my friends. Don't alter the communication of your cells. Don't listen to idiots who were paid to, whenever they describe this, Armando, they laugh. They laugh. Ha ha ha. I think you're muted.
Shout out to Richie from Indigenous 1492. He says Florida is not making it mandatory.
Yeah, for now. Look, it's a mixture of a lot of things. It's not just one thing. But just know one thing. We are not that intelligent where we can send messages to individual cells to create this, oh, it's only going to communicate for a little bit. It's only going to send. Think about that. Armando, what does it sound like when I tell you, hey, I'm going to inject something to you and it's going to send a message to your cell to do something? What would your reaction be?
Wow.
It would be, what the fuck? What do you mean? Like one individual cell? No, all the blood cells in your body are going to get this sequenced message to release these proteins so that you can possibly never get corona. Possibly.
So my question to you would be like, is this a one size fits all type of vaccine?
That's my point. That's my point. Are we that smart? Are we that smart where we know how to communicate on a cellular level to a masses of people? Like 7 billion? We know the formula for 7 billion people who live in different regions, different climates, different diets, different chemicals, different environmental effects. I'm not talking shit, man. I'm telling you to wake up. I'm not even telling you to wake up, man. I'm not even telling you to wake up. Everybody uses that. Wake up. Wake up.
And I just want to make it clear that
I'm telling you that there is not an intelligent organization, country, being, or any of that nature that knows how to fuck with science on that level consistently for 7 billion people. Name that country. Name those scientists. Name them. Because your fucking vaccinologists that get on the fucking YouTube and start laughing at how silly this little communication to these blood cells is gonna be, and ha ha ha, it's gonna go away just like magic, and your blood cells, it's one size fits all, and nah, man.
So Himalayan Queen, she says they haven't found a cure for cancer or AIDS all these years, but all of a sudden they have a cure for coronavirus in a matter of months.
What they're telling you is that they're gonna send a sequence of messages to your blood cells. That's not telling you they're gonna cure coronavirus. When have they said they're gonna cure or fix it? Aren't they? Even if you got the vaccine, you have to carry a card, right? I thought once you get the vaccine, when you got the measles vaccine, did you have to carry the card? Hey, I got the card that says I had the measles vaccine.
No.
So if you get the vaccine, you're supposed to be all good. You got the little message they told you. It's a little message.
I believe the reason why they're going to issue these cards is because if you're going to defy these orders or
then it's about
run
control.
away from it, they're going to end up tying that down to your social, and then it's going to trickle down to your bank accounts, and then they're going to freeze all your assets and say, hey, look, we're not going to let you do anything until you get this vaccine, then we'll unlock everything. That's how I see this thing.
But that's not stopping sickness. What you describe right there, is that stopping sickness?
No.
That's not stopping sickness. What would you consider stopping sickness? I would consider stopping sickness. Give me the best person that does holistic medicine. Give me the best person that does pharmaceuticals. Give me the best person that does lung whatevers. Give me the best. Give me the best. Let's all sit down in one fucking stadium and figure this answer out, because it's not about money and it's about saving lives.
So Sub One says it's all about control.
It's definitely about rules. It's definitely about rules. Because now you have to carry a card, right?
So we have another comment. They're doing to us what they've done already in China with their citizens with the whole social credit system. If you don't obey, you literally can't do anything.
Wait, let's put this conversation.
And I'm sure you've heard of that, right? This whole social credit system that they're applying now in China.
Yeah, but we're not China.
Which they collab with on the facial recognition system too.
Yeah, but we're not China. We're not China. We're not China. We already the U.S. government already has beef with its own militants of its own country. It's not China. China has an iron fist lockdown on their population for years, for a very long time, for decades. We're not going to overnight be China. That is the problem. That is the problem. But what we aren't in China, right? This iron lock state, we're stupid. We're stupid. We're stupid when it comes to this. When it comes to this, we're dumb. We go, oh shit, it's just a little message that they're gonna send on a biological level to my bloodstream. That should be cool, because the guy that administers vaccine and who's supposedly an expert in vaccines is laughing about it. He's saying it's just gonna go away. Ha 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 ha. It's so funny how it goes away. One size fits all, man. You don't have to be. You could be African. You could be Norwegian. You could be Sweden. You could be Mexican. It all fits genetically. They just pop out these extra proteins and it goes away magically. Yeah, right.
Now, look, I just experienced this not too long ago. Like, apparently now in Los Angeles, they're allowing dine-in for restaurants. Uh-huh. So there's a very fine Mexican restaurant out in Whittier where I live. It's called Veracruz, and I was dying to take my lady there. Yeah. I was like, babe, like, this is going to be literally our first hot plated meal since the lockdown. So we went, and it was absolute chaos, bro. So many people were just out and about trying to get in there, trying to get a seat, just to experience normal again. And man, these employees, the waiters and waitresses, they look so miserable because they're walking on thin ice because they don't know if the lockdown is going to happen again. Or so it's all screwed up, Zero.
Well, more so than dealing with the sickness, I think we're still going through the most humongous social experiment that this planet has ever faced. Now, let me say that with a grain of salt, because when you have cosmovision, macrovision, and microvision, you understand the storyline. Remember, Europeans are liars. They're liars. They've been lying for hundreds and thousands of years. Lying, stealing. It's not just the Americas. Look at their history prior to that. These are not intelligent, smart people. They're not. They try to play off like they are, but they're not. None of them has a record of cosmic macro vision documentation of celestial movements that they understand so well that they know when this position of stars is in this position, it's going to affect this. That when we go into a cosmic cloud of dust, it's going to affect the earth like this. They're not those people. White Mason Europeans learned from the Moors. The Moors were before them. And the Moors are black. So they're not all seeing, all knowing, I'm the dopest, I have the best plan. And if they did, they wouldn't even need to do a lockdown and make sure that you get this vaccine. They would just hold, like China, complete control. But it's like they're trying to run a race tied to another person's leg, and that other person happens to be faster and stronger, but it's still dragging this weight around. That's them, because they're not intelligent. I'm sorry, they're not. I'm not gonna give it up for any of those people to be intelligent as hunter-gatherers that evolved into mathematicians and astronomers and philosophers and dream masters. Yeah, you laughed at us a long time ago, but we're still here. We may not be a lot, but we're still here. They're still here. Because we know that there's a macro vision and a micro vision. And you're very good at the micro vision, but think about it. Micro is small. Macro is understanding, accepting, living through. Micro is very small and detailed. Sound familiar? You're muted.
You know, I'm all about preventative care.
Yeah.
And it seems to me you have to take initiative for that. You have to take ownership of that, because it's like, it seems like this medical system that we live in out in the nation is just, it's out to get you in debt. For example, I just had a neighbor not too long ago who went to the emergency room. $10,000 bill.
There you go. There you go.
$10,000 bill.
Did he get cured?
No. They just gave him medication and gave him an MRI. That's it. Right?
Yeah,
so I just don't understand how they will allow Krispy Kreme to encourage the public to get vaccines in order to get a free donut. I don't understand how Budweiser has the audacity to make an announcement stating that they're going to give away free beer if you prove to them that you got the vaccines, right?
Yeah. See, why do they need so much corporate help? Why in the pandemic did they need celebrities to come on and start saying wear a mask and, you know, you're saving lives? And
who drinks Budweiser? You know, my father drinks Budweiser, unfortunately. You know, I see him drinking Bud Light all the time. A lot of our people drink Budweiser out here in LA, bro.
Yeah.
What's the first thing they're going to do to try to get that free beer?
The very, 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 very uneducated are going to go get a free beer and harm their body. But we're not all uneducated. I mean, I'm telling you right now, we're not. We're not. Your grandparents were lazy. Your grandparents were super lazy. You thought by stripping children away from their parents that they would forget about who they were and what they were and where they come from. We come from magic. We come from the ether. That's where we come from. That's what we told your grandparents. All you guys that are trying to fuck up the world. We told your grandparents that. And you didn't believe it. And you still don't believe it. And that's okay. You're going to fall on your face. You already did. If you didn't, then we would be in normal society and you will be making millions and millions and millions and billions of dollars. You know what this is about? It's about hitting a trillionaire. No one's really hit a trillionaire, but aren't we close? Aren't some of those billionaires close to making $1 trillion now?
Right, yeah. There's a competition between Jeff Bezos, who's with Amazon, and Elon Musk, who owns Tesla.
Right. To get $1 trillion, right?
To become the first trillionaire.
The first trillionaire, right? So think about that, guys. How smart are these motherfuckers? It's not like Elon Musk is going, look, man, my lineage has been studying Venus for this long, and this position of Venus affects the Earth in this way. It affects the currents of the Earth. It affects the currents of the ocean. It understands the springs are stronger. He never does that. No, it's about, I can make $1 trillion. Look how dope I am. Look how big my dick is. Sorry for if I offended any females. I didn't mean it like that. I meant it to say, that's all it is. A show-off contest about who could piss the farthest. And we're caught up in, oh shit, do we take the vaccine or do we not take the vaccine? See, we're caught up in the miseducation of our own self.
And keep in mind, Zero, we're having to battle these topics at the same time dealing with culture war. Like, of course, we're all on social media. We're on Instagram. And I'm sure you found out about this whole Little Nas X thing with the blood shoes.
Okay, so here, that great point.
So imagine incorporating you're battling the whole COVID situation, and then you're having to battle the whole cultural situation.
Look, let me think about this. Think about this. I'm glad that we're recording here. We are in a pandemic. Armando, can restaurants open up as usual? No.
I think they're at 50% capacity right
But
now.
they're not as usual. They're not like making their money every day the way they're used to making their money, right? Drive-ins, same thing. I mean, movie theaters, same thing. They're restricting people from making a living. And you're going to sell 666 pairs with blood in it. Even if you wear a sock, your sweat is going to touch that blood. That blood is going to touch your skin. You are in a direct path of a biological infection. Whether it infects you or not, during a pandemic, a multi-conglomerate like Nike is going to allow that?
Now, this is all because of Lil Nas X releasing his latest single and music video, right? And he paired it up with Nike. He partnered with Nike and they released some sort of shoe.
Yeah, the Satan shoe or whatever it is, yeah. But what I'm trying to say is, though, that Nike okayed, signed off on a record, and no one is putting that CEO, manager in jail for spreading biological blood agents. And was this person COVID tested? I mean, not that I believe in all that stuff, but still, wouldn't you think this is how stupid we are as a country? To overlook something like that? Would that shit fly in Germany? No way. Would it fly in England? No way.
It definitely wouldn't fly in China.
No way. No way. Not if there's a outbreak. This is a fucking game. And you need to get really quick on what's happening. And here's what it is. They're losing control. They're losing control. That's why they have to force everybody into something that they can control, which is get the vaccine. What do you mean not get the vaccine? You want to kill people? You want to keep killing people? No, I don't.
So Indigenous 1492, he just said, so apparently Nike is now suing Lil Nas X because they didn't approve of it.
Okay, well, somebody at Nike knew.
I doubt that. I'm sure
somebody at Nike knew. Somebody at Nike. That's.
And they're only doing that for PR purposes.
Exactly.
To cover their asses because now the heat's on them.
Yeah, of course. People are gonna be
when they were in on it the whole time, and I think for them to even announce that they're suing Lil Nas X is just more positive PR for them.
I want to see the.
It raises the value of those shoes by 10.
Yeah, because look, they arrested this guy or whatever. You know what they should have done? Okay, instead of that, they should have had a biological team go and whoever purchased them, go put it in a hazard suit and fucking do your little hazard thing. You would have got more publicity out of that. But we're not in that time. Let me explain the macro vision. The macro vision's like a humongous wave of energy. A humongous wave, a cosmic wave of energy. That's a macro vision. And this little tiny dot, or we'll call it a triangle, is trying to control it when you know you can't. The only thing you could do is fool people. into following you. That's it. That's the grand magic. Fool people into following you. And there you go. Let's release 666 blood-stained shoes. I don't get it. Not during a pandemic. And then you're going to lock people down and not let people make a living. Now people are going to go, well, it's only 166 people. But who cares? You know, restaurants are just saying, let me just make a living. Let me figure out a strategy where I can make a living so my family can eat and I can pay my mortgage and I don't have to stress. Nah, but Nike and Little Nas can give out biological sickness.
And on the screen, what everyone's seeing is some great shoes from an artist that goes by the Indigenous Designer.
Oh, yeah.
We are going to be interviewing next week. And those shoes are, I think, around $150, $200.
That's a deal. And they're better.
Anyone watching this, do not support Nike. Support the Indigenous Designer.
Absolutely.
These
if you're
shoes,
into fashion and
these shoes are well over thousands of dollars to me, in my opinion, because I see them as collector items, and I'm so happy that we're going to bring them on board this coming Sunday. The Indigenous Designer.
They're losing control, man. They're losing control with digital currencies. People being able to come up with the same type of shoe that Nike could. Before, you couldn't make that kind of a shoe.
No.
We're in the time where you can. You know? And so that's what I'm talking about. They're losing control. They're not used to having so many other markets and so many other opinions because they're used to playing Monopoly with themselves. You know, and then going, look how dope I am. Look, I always win. You're always the banker. So you always win in the game that you set up for yourself. Because wise maestros and abuelos told us that you were mentally sick. You had a mental health problem and it was going to burn out. And it is. You have no control. You have no true history. And you're a liar and you're a thief. And you know who I'm talking about.
So Himalayan Queen says education begins at home.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I feel that that's the best way to do it. I saw this great movie on Netflix called Captain Fantastic. It was really great. I saw it last night. People should watch that movie. It's a Wasichu man, a white person who raises his family counterculture in the wilderness and teaches them survival skills and teaches them, you know, political science at the age of 7. And it's a really good movie. You guys got to check it out. And that's what I think Himalayan Queen is referring to is your kids could be as smart as you want them to be if you spend the time to do it. That's what we need right now. That's what I need to do. I'm not even going to sit here and tell you, oh yeah, I spend hours and hours reciting now what to my children. I don't do that. It's my job to figure out that puzzle for them. My entire life's purpose is to annihilate the perspective of European colonizers in the minds of my children. And I've done that. And I'm doing that. Right? I destroy the perspective of unlawful land theft and raping of children and human trafficking. You don't have the right to do that to people or animals or land or water or air or fire. You don't have that right. You're going to start seeing massive things come to light because you can't hide the truth forever. You don't know what forever is.
So we have a question here. So Zero,
Yeah.
How do we educate our kids when most of our teachings are gone and a lot of the literature from the past are gone and a lot of the literature is written by colonizers?
Well, here's the test. A lot of what I talk about, a lot of my references, doesn't come from tons and tons of reading. It comes from challenging other people's thought. And it's very simple because it's a colonizer, liar, lazy, Wasichu. He didn't lay down good foundation. So he thought, well, just keep the people stupid and they'll forever be stupid. And that's not the way it works. It just doesn't work that way. Eventually people get smart. They know how to read and they do how to this. Now, to get back to the question, how do we do it? Because all the books are written by them. That's how you do it. Read the book, but have your own perspective. Would you do that? Would you sacrifice a child like that? Would you human sacrifice in that way? In the way that they're writing? No, you got to challenge that perspective. You got to read the book, but challenge the perspective with your own because they're talking about you. When it comes to teaching your child, guide from the heart, because the heart is where our ancestors really thrived. It gave direction to the mind, not the mind to the heart. No way. The heart to the mind. Indigenous principles live within you innately because you come from a lineage that's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years old. Just because you got severed from it 500 years ago does not mean it no longer lives in your blood. Use your heart medicine. Use a gentle, loving connection. Look into your children's eyes and tell them how much you love them. And teach them every little bit of what you know, even if it's only to burn sage. Plant the seed of future understanding in them. And that's how we do it without books.
Shout out to everyone in the chat. It's lit. Shout out to Fire Keep a Knowledge Sika.
Oh.
Shout out to Native Tendencies. Shout out to everyone in the chat. This is Zero of El Vuh, LA Natives, Wednesdays discussions. We encourage anybody who wants to join in, simply leave your email in the chat and we'll send you an invite. We could do video chatting.
Yeah.
We could have a conversation.
Please be involved. I mean, this show is for you. I know sometimes people sit back and they listen and they feel like I can't contribute to this conversation, but no, you can contribute. You have to contribute, even if you don't know anything.
And this is your show.
This is your show. This is not my show. I'll rant my ass off for you, but really, it's not my show. It's our gift. Man, I love doing this show, Armando. I mean,
and do us a quick favor. Anyone that's watching this on YouTube or on Twitch, just hit that like button, notification bell, subscribe to our channels. Doesn't matter if it's Twitch or YouTube. We are live on Facebook as well. I'm trying to get this live Twitter going, but it's giving me issues. But everything's been just an amazing. It's been an amazing journey, Zero. Like, doing this podcast with you and being able to engage with the community and growing this community, interviewing cats internationally. And now we're like doing the VIP interviews for the International Indigenous Hip Hop Awards. I have to turn in that performance tonight. So I think after the show, I'm going to edit that down and send it over. Man, it's just been an amazing journey, Zero.
Yeah. I'm glad that we're at, because when I review the chat, I like it when they talk to each other. Like, oh, yes. so and so.
I don't know if you were able to catch our first voicemail.
Yes, I was about to talk about that too. What's his name? Bugsy. I have it on my phone. Let's see if we could come up with it. But yeah, shout out to all those that took the extra time to, shout us out on the Spotify channel. I think you have to do it per episode, and if you could leave us a message, that'd be great. We already had our first message, so let me see if I can pull that up. Check this out.
Yo, what's good, LA Natives? Bugsy Mogs here. Yeah, I just wanted to tell y'all, love the content, love the show, keeps my mind busy. I heard of y'all through Art Son. Art Son's my boy, and been listening ever since. I love when I get the reminder on Wednesdays and Sundays. And stay up, y'all. Keep on keeping on. Peace.
Yo, shout out to
Wow.
Shout out to my brother right there. Who
Shout
took
out
the time.
to the homie right there, taking his time to leave us a genuine message. And that's what we want. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep sharing the content, keep spreading the word.
That just makes me know that we're doing a good job and we're right on track. And I never doubted it. I never doubted it because the intention that I've always had with my music, with anything I'm involved with, it has to do with community and learning how to be a community. It doesn't mean that we get along all the time. And, you know, I've been a part of a lot of circles in my 22 years of experience here. And they weren't all flowers and roses, you know, or it was a lot of arguing and disagreeing and not realizing that our own selves has a lot of colonized versions that we need to address and look at. And that just takes humility and time. So stick to the medicines that our ancestors laid down thousands of years ago, and we're going to be fine. This is our time. This is our time. You know, when you claim to own time, understand time, realize time, use time, surf time, you have nothing to worry about. Even though it seems hopeless, you're a time traveler. Every life you live is a stamp in this lifetime. That's who you are. Whoever listens to this, LA natives.
So we even have a listener, Bugsy Moges.
Yeah.
And I believe he's the one that left the message for us.
Yeah.
So
right on.
Thank you, brother, for tuning in. He says he had to listen to last week's episode about 3 times because there was so much substance. And I think I already expected that because is it Keys IMC?
Yeah.
Wow, Zero.
Dude,
there
deep.
was so much substance and subject matter in that conversation that people could take away and just like really feel good about it.
That's what we call medicine.
So for a fan to have to listen to it at least 3 times, like you said, that is medicine.
It's medicine, man. It's just medicine, dude. They cannot. Bugsy, thank you, one, for that message. It was fucking heartfelt. It gave me so much happiness in my heart to know that, you know, people understand what we're saying and that we're doing the right thing. You know, I encourage everyone else to go out there and do a little message of their own, because that just shows that this is a part of your show. This is your show, your voice. Right. I'll play it on the air.
We want you to take these messages and put them to good use, and most importantly, support the indigenous hip hop community that this whole podcast is about. You know, everyone has one thing in common. They have dope music, right, Zero?
Yeah, it's diverse. It's diverse. Not one is going to sound like the other. Dreezus doesn't sound like Snotty Nose.
I wanted to talk to Keys IMC about his battling background, because when you type him in on YouTube, you see dozens of pictures of him just going at it in the early 2000s with some of the best battle rappers in the game. And to me, I'm like, that's like King of the Dot level at that time, because King of the Dot must have gotten their influences by guys like Keys IMC.
That's crazy. I never thought about that. But I remember Keys and Red Cloud battle like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's a Keys and Red Cloud battle. I mean, that's how I know all these dudes. Like, I'm a part of their careers. I've seen them do certain things. And yeah, it was around, like, I thought they were getting influence from the Dot. But now that you think about it, it's like, I think it was prior to that.
So everyone in the conversation is talking about Mexico New Year. Sub One is announcing that he's performing.
Yeah.
We have a couple listeners and viewers tuning in saying that they're going to be there.
Cool.
Nice. Jaguar is going to be performing. Jag is performing out in on Saturday at Echo Park. But most importantly, you're going to be performing.
Yeah. I'm totally going to be performing. I'm ready. And
we're going to have our own booth. I believe we're going to get there. I'm personally going to get there like around 4 or 5 to to potentially set up and stuff. And I'm not sure when your set starts, but it's all about having a good time at Mexico New Year.
Mexica New Year is coming, and yes, I will be performing this Saturday, and I'm excited because I'm gonna play Global Pandemic on that day. I'm gonna whoever goes out from LA Natives is gonna hear my new single, Global Pandemic. So I'm excited to play that song live, and I'm excited to meet LA Native community that I haven't met yet. So yeah, we're going to have a booth. Come and say hi. We're going to try to do live things, hopefully go live.
We're going to have a free we're going to have a good handful of free t-shirts to give away.
And I already talked to Jag. So 30 minutes prior to my performance or 40 minutes prior to my performance, I'm going to do a decolonized workshop for those that want to listen live. So Jag has offered me a room, a private room to do that. So I am going to offer a live workshop on that day. And as we speak, a very important brother to our community.
As we're on the topic, people.
Whom we've been just talking about.
We were just talking about you, brother.
Welcome.
We have a very special guest in the building.
Brother Jaguar.
The chat is lit. Everyone's waiting for the
organizer
event.
Of the Mexica New Year. So yeah, we were just going over the details in Echo Park. We're gonna have what is it? What is it?
April 2nd, 3rd, or 4th.
No. How many years is it?
Damn.
Come on.
Originally started Islam Foundation 28 years ago.
28. This is the 28th annual.
That's where Mexica New Year was born.
28th annual.
The word Mexica and New Year, first time put together, was born east of the
LA
River.
Go ahead and give us a formal introduction.
Yo, as far as me, myself?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, I'm known as Jaguar to some, Shukoa to others. I've been involved in this movimiento for the last 28, 29 years. The Mexica New Year event was one of the first things that I got to witness as a young native Chicano from East LA. Fell in love automatically. I walked into a world that I never knew existed. There was this old jail that was run down and abandoned and taken over by Chicano activists.
Oh, the Farce of July?
Not the old jail.
Yeah, the
Farce of July was created right there too.
Yeah, the Farce of July was done at is it the Highland Park jail? Is it Highland Park?
Yeah, it's the Highland Park.
Yeah,
that's right.
it's the Highland. The city used to allow us to do these events in Highland Park, and I remember when I was rocking with Quinto Sol, which is probably the same event you're talking about, Jack. Because I was in a reggae band with Quinto Lemon, and it was at that old jail.
That's right.
And it was about 28 years.
It's a long time.
28? I thought it was 24. But it's 28, I guess.
We're survivors in this though. For sure,
I remember that. I have a picture. I'm going to show you a picture of me with dreadlocks and Lemon on that stage. And it's that show because that's the only place really that gathered up. That's the beginning of these, events that ran off in the early, 94 to 2012. And Jag had a big chunk of that with his event, the Mexica New Year. And so talk a little bit about that, brother.
Well, I was young. I was maybe like about 19, 20 years old. I walked into, like I said, a whole new world. I walked in there, and all this art, all this native art. I was just blown away. I never saw these concepts put on paper or any kind of media before. I walked in, I saw all these different type of vendors, same with clothing and jewelry and all these native things to sell, from stickers to clothing. I mean, blown away by it. First time I saw Aztec dancers, in the mix of all that. I remember that year they did a mural on a canvas that, if I were to estimate, it was maybe about 20 feet by like 40 feet or something like that.
Is that the one that Anahuaca? By Nuke and
Yeah, Nuke was up there, Peps was up there. It was a big one up there, I remember. And they were all working on it at the same time. All these artists were painting this mural all at the same time, and I was just like, wow, and
I remember that.
It was a young days, and I was really impressed by Aslan Underground. I was like an Aslan Underground groupie.
Well, they're the OGs, man. They're the OGs.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
They're 92.
They
came out like Aslan Underground's like when Pete Wilson. Remember that law Pete Wilson passed, or 187? Or that's when it really popped off for, Rage Against the Machine and fucking Aslan Underground.
So I want to ask you, for anyone that hasn't attended one of your events, what do you have to tell them about what can they expect coming in out of the event, and what do you want them to take away from the event?
Well, when I started taking the responsibility of Mexican New Year and making sure that it was rooted and represented in its origins right here on Tongva territory, aka Los Angeles. I made it so that so a lot of us that have woken up into the reality of our indigenous consciousness, we always desire to reclaim something that belongs to us, our destinies, our futures, and our cultura and our land. So my idea was to give our people just that, whether it be for one day or 3 days. It was an exercise and a practice that was designed so we could reclaim a piece of land for a day, gather with all our beautiful family members, all the guys, all the girls, eat some really good food, uphold an economic base and an exchange of currency amongst brown people, amongst native people, keeping that money and that economy strong within ourselves. Our religious practices like our danza and our different other ceremonies, giving space to all these beautiful, talented artists, from painters to graphic writers to dancers to MCs to band members to poets, giving them all a house where they could all be together one day and just sharing with each other. So that was like the main mission, and it's growing now. This year's 3 days long. In the future, we hope to do more of these kinds of events and make them slowly but surely take over, what rightfully belongs to us.
And that's a very unique concept to have when it comes to truly organizing a free event for the general public, right?
Free.
It's one thing to organize an event, to charge at the door $30, $40, $50 and wear that promoter hat, but to step out of that realm and to actually do it for the city of Los Angeles,
that's right.
That just goes to show that it's just you're a whole different beast.
I figured that we cannot charge people to change their lives for the better. You know what I'm saying? I figured that if I had to compete against someone that was charging for something, no one likes medicine. Medicine could be harsh at times, and it could be good at times. But I didn't see myself being really successful charging, to come witness the greatness of Quinto Sol or El Vuh or Aslan Underground. I wanted everyone to be able to come, whether they had money, whether they had $1, no dollar, whether they were going through rough economic times, whether they were balling, whatever it was. I wanted them all together. So I figured that by charging, that wasn't going to happen that easy. So I decided that it's going to be a free event. And it's been that way.
Well, we have
for over 15 years.
Native Tendencies. Shout out to Native Tendencies. They say my life changed the first time I attended Mexico New Year. Same goes for Sub One. He says his life changed forever when he attended for the first time back in 2019, I believe.
Beautiful. I mean, it's been like really special to us, Mexican New Year, because I've seen people fall in love. I've seen people find themselves, find their names, find their connections, create babies. You know what I'm saying? Like they met one year and the next year they came with babies. I've seen babies grow up inside of our slam pits. You know what I'm saying? Like we usually have ska bands and punk bands and people like Aslan Underground, and you see these babies on the shoulders of their dads, and I've seen them grow. You know what I'm saying? For over 15 years, it's been a beautiful. experience.
So take us back to event number 1.
Yeah.
Right? If you could, in retrospect, go back and just give us, some history or, walk us through what was going on event number 1.
Pretty much what I had said before. I just walked into this. It was at the old jail, east of the LA River by Highland Park. Walked in there for the first time, and I saw myself surrounded by a whole different family that I never knew I had. I come from a gangbanging background, so it was always about, protecting my area, and always, having beef with people with other areas. But it was beautiful to walk into a location where you didn't have to watch your back. That everyone that was there as your family. So it was overwhelmingly life-changing for myself. And I knew that this was something that had to live on forever, and I've dedicated my life partially to this event. It's one of the things that rain or shine, whether I have money or I don't have money, somehow, with the grace of the Creator, somehow I make it happen, So I appreciate the support, even from the community. I'll tell you a story. The last one we did it over here in Lincoln Park. And it was one of the most expensive Mexicaneers that we ever done. As you can imagine, these things could run up in the tens of, 15s of thousands of dollars. You know what I'm saying? And something happened where we fell short on funds, and we didn't have the funds. And I basically I said, you know what? I'm gonna post this on my story. What's going on? And out of nowhere, people started flooding in. It's like, man, I don't got that much money, brother, but I got 80. I got 60, I got 40, I got 20. And then some sister that I'll name nameless because that's the way she wants it, came in and said, how much do you need? Well, honestly, I need $5,000. She goes, I got them for you. Your event changed my life, and I cannot imagine this event not existing for me and my son. I got these $5,000. I'm not giving them to you, but I'm loaning them to you. You know what I'm saying? And I know that you're going to be able to pay me back. And she met me at the park, and she had me over an envelope with $5,000. That blew me away, brother. You know what I'm saying?
That's a direct result that's just goes to show that's a direct result of the humility that you have as an individual in throwing these events to impact a woman like that so much for her to do that for somebody.
Sure enough, man. To this day, we're really good friends, and her little son, I'm kind of like a little mentor to him,
Right.
He's a really cool kid.
So Zero,
yes,
you were talking about us doing a potential workshop with Jag.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I asked him if he could give me about 40 minutes before my performance to do a workshop at his event, because Jag is right. It's not easy to be of a forgotten, hallucinated people, right? Like, these people they don't even exist really. And here comes Jag going, here's a Mexica New Year, here's this culture, here's this event where you can not only hear relevant music to your spirit, but hear relevant talk that will guide your tonal. And I don't know if Uncle Masacin is coming this year, but
he is.
There you go. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Like 5 years.
This is what I'm talking about. Yep. Uncle Masacin is very deep, and he can find your tonal and really help with that understanding. And that's what happens at this event. So I thought, my music's great. I love my music, and you get whatever you can, but sometimes people feel like I really didn't understand something. So I feel like if I could talk or give a free workshop like I'm kind of doing here on LA Natives, when I do it on Wednesdays and Sundays, I want to do it live for people who have been loyal to LA Natives. And we need to make this place successful for Brother Jag and his efforts, because not only is it a pandemic, but it's not easy to put independent events, and you should know that more than anyone, Armando.
Yes, and this is a calling to all the LA Native audiences that are in and around the LA area. All we ask is for you to show up. It's a 3-day event, and bring someone with you, right?
That's right.
Tell someone.
It's apparently we're about this full-blown reopening of the nation that they call it, right?
That's right.
So why not take advantage? Because I know there's people dying to go out and mingle with people.
That's right. Right.
Yeah. And it's a good event. You know what I like about it is that it's not a bed of roses there.
Not at all.
Because when those ska bands get on stage, it's a whole nother world. It's like Mictlan opens up and everybody's aggressive in the pits. It's just like if you're back in high school and you're going through those punk shows in the backyard, you know?
I've caught a lot of heat from my peers for the inclusion of the ska community and the punk community. But you know what? Those are my people, and when I see them, they're all beautiful and brown, and I know that they need a home. They need to find themselves. So, you know, I'm all about the ska now, baby. It's nothing like that pit.
You know what?
My children love being in that pit.
People don't understand that ska music is very influential in our community. It's like,
for sure.
you know, in the East LA community, it's like it's the underground of the underground right there. And they have fun. And maybe one of those kids may look up at one of these artists like Jag or myself, or maybe see the Danzante performance and really awaken his spirit, you know. And I'm glad that you continue to do this event. And I know it's not easy. That's right. And the last thing anybody should do with anyone in our community coming from the place that we come from is criticize. We should be inclusive as best as we can, but be direct and honest about your situation. You know what I mean? And when Jag offered us a booth and an ability to do the workshop and then my performance to promote LA Natives, because right now I'm about LA Natives. I don't have a group. You know, this is my group, LA Natives. Jag, Taboo, whoever became a part of LA Natives, that's who we are. You know, and Jag has been doing this event for a very long time. I've seen him sweat. I've seen him on the side just.
So let me ask you, Jag, has it always been a 3-day event?
No, this is the first year it's going to be a 3-day event. It's always been just 1 day.
Yeah.
So can I ask the reason behind extending this event for 3 days, and is this going to be something permanent?
It is going to be something permanent, as long as I have a say so. And the reason why, truly, right now in its early stages, it's for the economic support of our vendors and our marketplace, so that people have more of a chance to come out and support financially these vendors. Because honestly, if it wasn't for our vendors, there would be no Mexican New Year. So I want to say to all our vendors, my respects and our love for their continuous support. And I try really hard to make sure that they have a good home to come to, that's going to be profitable for them, and so they can go home, take care of their families, you know what I'm saying, and in exchange, make people happy, you know? There's nothing like passing by a certain booth where you're going to get a delicious drink that's going to make you feel better, or like that one t-shirt that you've been looking for all your life, or that beautiful necklace that's like, oh man, you connect with that and you put that on and you feel shielded, you feel powerful, and you walk away. You know what I'm saying? So like, and that's all thanks to our vendors. You know what I'm saying? They bring that magic. You know, and they bring articles like the stuff that you see right here on Brothers Altar right here. You know what I'm saying? The imagery, the Spantli, Quetzali right here. You know what I'm saying? You'll find stuff like that. And so I extended it mainly for them, and hopefully to start evolving into a full 3-day function with different workshops and stuff like that. I wanted to make a home. I want to make a call out right now, if not for this year, for next year, and for every year to come out after that. This is a home for all activists, all organizers, all orgs. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that has passion for the reclaiming of Native identity. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that wants to help people in general. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's getting them out of alcoholism, out of different kinds of abuse, drugs, whatever it is. I invite you guys to come out and give a reach out. You know, like the Christians say, they say outreach, right? You got to go out there and pull them in. You know what I'm saying?
Again, this is a call. This is a call on all the LA Natives supporters that are in and around the LA area. Make sure you guys come out. It's a 3-day event. Zero's performing. A whole bunch of great artists are performing. Can you let the audience know where this show's located?
It's going to be at the Historical Club La Bahia on Sunset Boulevard, just slightly west of Chinatown, slightly east of Dodger Stadium. Yeah, that's about it.
It's right on Sunset.
That's actually where they shot the tax collector.
Really?
Yeah, really, that's pretty dope.
I didn't know that.
Now, I did mention to a couple people that this show was going to be located in Echo Park, and I'm sure you're fully aware of the propaganda that's going around the city of Echo Park. And the first question that came up was like, I thought Echo Park was closed.
Right.
The park is.
How do you feel about that? About the homelessness out down on Echo
I
Park?
think it's rough. This COVID hit really strong in all aspects. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, you saw it. You saw how fast it grew. A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people lost their incomes, and they hit the street. You know what I'm saying? So I feel for all that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Echo Park got taken over.
So for all those people that are questioning if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. No doubt it's gonna happen.
Thank you.
And globally and collectively, let's stay in positivity that it begins and we're allowed to go all the way to the end. Because we have nothing but good intentions. We're here to help. We're here to empower. We're here to make our people smile through a hard time. So let's just all keep our hopes, up there and
So of course, Zero's gonna be performing. Any other artists that you would recommend our audience to check
we
out?
got the almighty Son Doobie from the fuck Doobie is, and that guy's a god. You know what I'm saying? So that fool's gonna kill it. You got young brother Jag from Cosmic Force.
Shout out to Cosmic Force.
He's gonna drop it powerful.
Jag is a heavyweight in the game.
He ain't playing. That's my young nephew. And he brings it like no one brings it.
Jag,
makes me proud every time I see that man work. You know what I'm saying? Like
I saw that Azomali's performing.
Azomali.
This might be the first time I see that individual perform live. I'm looking forward to that set.
He's dope. I've seen him live. He's
been to our Mexican years and only done like one song or two songs. So I hope that this time he'll give us a full 20-minute performance. He's got a lot of material. He's a very talented young man as well. You know what I'm saying? Very unique in his craft. You know what I'm saying?
So just to let everyone know, we have Zero of El Vuh. This is the LA Natives podcast, Wednesday's discussion. Our guest is Jag, the organizer and founder of Mexico New Year, an event that's going to be going down this weekend. This weekend, right?
Yes, sir.
Echo Park.
We're peaking right now, Zero. Is there anything you want to tell our audience?
Well, I mean,
all of our late birds that are just barely tuning in.
Make sure that you come and check out this event. There's going to be a live discussion, not only by me, but by Masatzin. Masatzin's going to take it to a whole nother level.
I was going to say that. Everybody that don't know their birth symbols and their identity on the Tonal Machiot, which is known as the Aztec calendar, is going to be your opportunity. You're going to be able to sit down in front of Maestro, ask him all kinds of questions. You're going to walk out of there knowing that you have a monkey spirit or a jaguar or an eagle spirit, you know what I'm saying? Or you got that knowledge of the flower, the shochi, or you're fluid like water, homie. You know what I'm saying? You're going to find out your connection to who you are, and that in itself is a very beautiful and powerful thing that's life-changing in itself.
Yeah, I think once I talked to my uncle Masatzin and he figured out who gave me my tonal, right automatically off the bat, you want it to be something that it isn't. And you kind of have to sit with it going, oh shit, I thought I was this. I'm not going to reveal what I am. I'm just going to, because that's sacred too. You only reveal that to people who are very close to you. And so once you understand your energy, that Uncle Masalcin, by knowing your birthday and the time you were born, you can get an accurate reading of your tonal. Your tonal is your energy, right? The energy that flows inside of you. But that energy is negative and positive, because monkeys have negative traits, but they also have positive traits, So you have to find the balance within your own tonal, because sometimes when you walk off balance with it, the bad traits overcome the good ones. Right. So now you got to find balance and walk that fine line and understand your weaknesses. That's the purpose of the tonal. And so Uncle Masatzin will be there. Hopefully we will be able to donate something to him. That's right. For his knowledge, because he spent over 3 decades of his life bringing back this knowledge to the Chicano community. You will find no one happier to teach a Chicano or to give a Chicano his tonal than Masatzin. He will be elated to give that to you because he knows he just lit your light. And now it's up to you. What are you going to do with it? And this event is that place where you get to meet someone like that.
And this is an event I would even encourage if you're out of state to fly in for. Like if there's any event, right, that I would think you would want to fly in for, especially if you're about the Mexica movement and the indigenous culture and the message, it would be at this event. Am I right? I'm sure you know a lot of people from maybe out of state come out.
Well worth
right?
the trip. We have people coming out from Canada. I got to call somebody a little bit past Sacramento's coming. We got people coming from Arizona. You know what I'm saying? Texas. You know, it's like our day. You know, it's like our holiday in a sense. You know, it's one of the many. You know, at least one of the popular ones. And hopefully soon, with our work, we'll have a lot more different popular celebrations that are important to us, and that's what's important. That, you know, sometimes we're so busy celebrating other people's culture, other people's things, you know what I'm saying, that we get lost. We get lost in that, you know what I'm saying, and we forget who we are, you know what I'm saying. Like New Year's on the Gregorian calendar, everybody's like, yeah, it's New Year's, and they start like making all these what do they call, like, I'm gonna lose weight this year.
Well, resolutions.
The resolutions and all these beautiful things, right? But then Mexican New Year comes and people are like, yeah, that's the, you know. We gotta get it to the point where it's like, it's Mexican New Year in the same way. I'm gonna make these resolutions during the 5 days of the 5 days of the last day before the transition of the New Year. Just the days that we reflect and we make those changes. We say, you know what, like, I'm gonna leave this part behind, and I'm gonna shed that skin, and I'm gonna move forward to a better me. You know what I'm saying? So I can find the golden core that's within us all. You know what I'm saying? Due to colonization, we're buried under so much hurt and so much confusion, so much lostness. You know what I'm saying? That sometimes we need to look in that mirror and you know, the beginning of a new cycle, of a new year, you know, helps to promote that change. You know what I'm saying? If we're connected, you know what I'm saying? And
yeah, I totally know what you're talking about because, you know, definitely. Teaching and learning from Masatzin, and not only him but many others, Osolokoa, all them that we get from the north as well. I know what it's like because this Nemotemi, for the past 4 years, I've been fasting for 5 days prior to entering the new year, and I know what he talks about when Jag mentioned that you let go, and for me, is you let go of what you did last year. And fasting is defeating your own self. Those thoughts of, I should have got this. No, this isn't right. Or defending something that really wasn't important because we get mixed up in our own ego. When you fast for 5 days, that ego starts to become less and less. Now, there's a mathematical sequence to why it's in that position. Because there are 4 carriers of time. Each Mexican New Year has its own, it's Tecpat, Tochli, Cali, and Acat. All these 4 carriers of time carry 6 hours. So they start the new year at 12 noon, 12 midnight, 6 sunrise, and sundown. This is how the sequence works. You want to learn more? Come to Mexican New Year. Maestro Masatzin, Uncle Masatzin. Now, we'll only tell you your tonal, but he will explain way more in detail what I just finished explaining. So there's a reason that it's in the spring.
That's right.
Because look into the trees right now, family. There's a lot of birds out there. There's a lot of flowers out there. There's a lot of greenery out there.
A lot of changes.
And so we're going to gather as a family at the Mexica New Year at La what?
La Bahia Club.
La Bahia Club on Sunset Boulevard.
I believe it's 1130 Sunset Boulevard.
Absolutely. Yeah, what a great event to be a part of. Thank you so much for your invitation to play and represent. You know, because obviously artists, you know, feel like they have a lot to say right now. And I wrote a new song. I'm going to be performing it live at that spot. So, I mean, I'm happy for it. I hope all the family out there is happy, and we'll see everybody there live because I'll be doing a workshop as well.
Brando Tattoos has a question. He wants to confirm the dates. So what dates?
So it's April 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. This coming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday, we'll open up the market at 6 p.m. till midnight with some DJs, all our vendors, some food. We're going to keep it chill. Maybe you want to kick it, boogie a little bit. More than welcome to. And then we're going to get ready for the next day. The next day, we'll be out there early, 10 o'clock in the morning, for my diehards that come every sunrise ceremony.
And that's the Saturday, right?
That's on Saturday. We're going to be out there building a huge, beautiful flower altar in a codice of Aztec Mesoamerican artwork. That's going to be the center core of our Aztec dance ceremony. And at 11:30 in the morning, we will kick off a 4-hour-long Aztec danza. We're expecting the most political person, the most aggressive in reclaiming your native roots, or you just want to go chill and
In my memory, my favorite Mexican New Year was the one at Mariachi Plaza. I think last 4 of them were there or something.
they were good.
Yeah, all of them there were fire. Because I'm gonna tell you why. Because it has no walls. You know what I mean? People driving by are just gonna get off and then go.
That's right.
What the fuck? I don't know how many people that I've known that just said, I was just driving by. I was at the Mexica New Year because I knew it was there. So I'm there in the crowd, and then my homie will come out and be like, dude, I was just driving by. And I saw this, I got off, and then I started seeing Aztec dancers, and next thing you know, they're there for 4 hours, 5 hours, and going, I'm coming back next year and becoming a fan of your event.
Our lineups have always been historical, man. Delinquent Habits, Sick Jacket from the Psycho World, Chinche Berinches,
Tijuana No.
Tijuana No, oh my God. Every time Tijuana No came was so hard, bro.
Yeah.
Aslan Underground.
And let's talk about a little bit of the ska bands, because they need because they pull like what 200-300 people sometimes.
Easily. They're big pullers, and they're a big part.
So who are the ska bands that are coming?
This year, unfortunately, due to the COVID and what's going on, a lot of the bands couldn't really get together and agree to come and perform, unfortunately. So this year, we're running all hip hop.
Oh, it's no ska bands.
It's no ska bands this year, unfortunately. But but we have a huge.
It might be easier for hip hop lineups because it's just one person, maybe 2 persons. When you get like 10 band members,
and I think it's better for us right now because the whole COVID thing's going on, and a lot of people are a little bit worried about it. So like, it's better that we don't have a slam pit right now.
That's all you need is fucking sweaty kids and bloody kids everywhere.
It's rough, man. You could ask anybody that's put security on the front line. You know what I'm saying? We've had these mosh pits and we've had to hold the line and protect our altars, and and it's fun. You know what I'm saying? Because it's training for our security. We're out there, respectfully protecting things that are sacred, but it's a job. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a job. These kids are really like to let loose when their favorite band plays.
No, I've seen it.
The energy is tremendous.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Explosive.
It's incredible. My kid has gone in there, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Kind of worried, but he came back, a little bumped and bruised, but he was happy.
Yeah, that was cool about it. No matter the age of these guys, they're in the pit. I've seen little kids as young as 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, and they all are very observant of them. They all like watch their back. They always take care of them. You know what I'm saying? Whether they're in there with their parents or they're in there on their own, they're always. I have not had one person be hurt. Seriously, I mean,
no.
everybody bumps themselves or whatever, but no one's ever broken a bone or a leg or anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, I wish I could say that in my experience, man. Seems like every show I have, someone gets hurt. There's an ambulance that shows up. Someone drank too much beer.
Wow.
Like one time, I did a necro event at Los Globos, and we underbooked it. We should have got a bigger room. So it was literally like elbow to elbow in there, right? And it was so chaotic. A kid ended up getting squeezed onto the stage with his leg stuck in between two PAs.
Oh, no.
So his leg snapped.
Oh, no.
And bad enough, the security ends up grabbing him. Pulls him, and then ends up body slamming him, throwing him across the room off the stage.
Wow.
Horrible.
And that's a hip hop show right there. For anyone that's
that's a
familiar with
sold out.
Necro.
That's a sold out fucking diehard fans jumping into their favorite artist, and unfortunately, I mean, what Phil Collins killed a guy, right? That's the fucking In the Air Tonight, right? That's a fucking song. So, I mean,
what's the most memorable event or memorable experiences you've had throughout your experience during these annual Mexica New Year's concerts?
Dang. I mean, definitely when we had the Six Side in town, it was pretty cool.
Okay.
Working with them was really nice. That was a really good year. I believe we had Chinche Berinches that year, and we had such a full house. I think we pulled over 2,500 heads in one day. One crowd. For being not a mainstream event, that's pretty successful. And it was a really good moment.
Well, let's make it clear.
Now we have a question here. Has there ever been mosh pits at your events?
Oh,
always.
Those are the legendary ones.
Every
I'm telling
year.
you. Yeah.
This is the first year. There probably won't be one. We have one band coming that's Kill the Bullfighter. So there might be a little pit for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They're the only band. But every year we have huge pits. If you guys go to the hashtag Mexica with a K, New Year LA, you'll see all the footage. Thousands of kids, multiple pits. It's always been like that.
It's a fun show. It's a fun show. And he's right. The people that are in the pit are very careful about little kids, and as out of control as they are, they're very aware of women, and it's never a violent kind of like Wasichu kind of style fucking punk show.
I mean, you know how it is. I mean, don't worry about the men. Worry about the women in the community, because they'll check you on the spot.
Yeah,
boy.
Yeah, no, I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
No, we're very protective over here.
Like, our women don't play. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if you mess up, they're gonna run up on you.
Yeah.
So everyone behaves. Everyone behaves pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good event. It's going to be fun. You're going to learn something. You're going to walk away with not only learning something, but taking something back with you that'll remind you about what you learned, which is a shirt, some feathers.
So we have a question here from someone out of state. You can't wait to get to Mexican New Year. So how soon do you announce your dates for next year so people could plan to get there?
Usually, traditionally, our event always coincides with the spring equinox. We tend to always celebrate around the 20th, 19th to the 21st. You know what I'm saying? So you could bet around that area and time that we'll be having Mexican New Year. This year, we obviously, because of COVID, we waited till April, because April everything was opening up. So we waited till then. But usually around March 20th is when we do our event. Our actual New Year comes in on March 12th at different times. So it depends what symbol it is of what year is when they come in. Some years come in at midnight, some years come in. So if it comes in at midnight, actual New Year, March 11th in the nighttime, then the other ones come in at 6 a.m., 6 p.m., 12 noon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We have a question here. Are they serving liquor?
So I have been meaning to talk about this, and I'm going to let out a little PSA on my live for the first time ever in Mexican New Year history. There will be alcohol. Not because I want there to be alcohol, not because we are going to profit from any alcohol sales, but because the only location that we could find was this Bahia club that was willing to support us. Inside the bar, inside the restaurant, inside the club, there's a bar. You know what I'm saying? When you guys go to the restroom, you're gonna see it.
The only reason I kind of laughed a little bit is because like you eliminate the punk bands and then go, okay, but you can now have beer here. Because imagine beer and the punk bands, forget about
it. Usually we're not a non-alcohol event, so
yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't stop the youth from coming with the bottles. And I'm always gotta be like dad right there, and I'm always like, hey, give me that bottle, give me that bottle. And I'm taking them away from them, and I'm dumping them in the trash can, and it's a full day job. You know what I'm saying? Like, just taking alcohol away from youth and stuff like that. We're used to it. We don't want to look down on them. Even some of our peers actually do have, but we're not taking that position. We accept everybody any way they come.
Well, that's
as long as they come with respect, you know what I'm saying, and love for everyone around. You know what I'm saying? We're not there to stop anybody.
Then it's kind of a good thing that there's an alcohol station for people that are appropriate. At the age appropriate to, because you don't want to have kids in your crowd that are drinking.
For sure.
That's not what you want. And I know Jack, that's why he's Papa Bear in the crowd, you know? Yeah. So now it turns out like, okay, well, let's not face that problem and let's let people who are old enough and make that decision to do that. And that's cool. We don't judge here. Come on, man. We've been through 500 years of genocide. People are going to drink. People are going to do things that are unorthodox and may not line up to your version of indigenous or whatever it is. But know that we are one community, one family. And that's all that matters.
All I ask is, if you're going to partake, be responsible, be respectful.
Yeah, you go.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And watch who is around you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And keep them in mind.
Yeah.
You know, I suggest that any money that's spent at Mexican New Year is done through the vendors that are actually supporting Mexican New Year. So please, don't go over there and spend $50 at the bar and not support a vendor because you want to get drunk. Okay, this is not what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
We're not trying to tell you to do that. If you want a michelada because it's hot, and I like micheladas, you know what I'm saying? But you're not going to see me on the curva all fucking drunk and laid out either, you know what I'm saying? So be responsible, be respectful. It's going to be there. It's not coming from us, but it's going to be there. Yeah. So act accordingly, act respectful, you know what I'm saying? And do you. Have a good time.
No, that's the most important. I like that part. Do you. Because this is a process. We don't all... We wish we woke up with abuelos that had taught us from the birth what we needed to do and what we needed to stay away from. But we all know, I know Jaguar knows, I know that this is all a journey. And that journey comes with many distractions. I know that Uncle Crow Dog sometimes used to go on a bender or two, you know, but then snap out of it and do what he needs to do. We don't discredit him because he went on a bender.
That's right.
Some people who carry the torture of 500 years of genocide sometimes have to do things that are unorthodox that you will not understand.
Definitely.
And so that's the beauty of Mexica New Year. That's the beauty of the Mexica people, is they understood that. Definitely. They understood that, you know, there's levels to Tamawanchan. You know, there's levels to it. There's not just Tamawanchan. It's like there's levels to it. You have to earn your place there. And when you get there, you have to descend down. It's not a permanent state.
And then I'm also going to say, this is an indigenous event. So, like, if you want to drink like an indigenous person, we're going to have an array of very delicious pulques available.
Pulques.
You know what I'm saying? Now, pulque is a very special drink. Not only that, it should not only be drunk because it's fermented and it has quote-unquote alcohol in it, but it is a very nutritious, very healthy drink, very good for your body. So if you want to partake in a cup or two of something to make you feel a little happy, we'll have that pulque for you there. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather you drink the pulque than go drink an adios, motherfucker, and come to the front row and check out, you know what I'm saying, Brother Zero, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I'd rather have you that spirit.
I'd rather have it. I'd rather have you be drinking an ancient drink from Mexico than, you know, to check my performance out than, you know.
For sure.
This is quite possibly one of the most historical events that I know about that's going to go down this weekend, because it's lined up in the right place. This is kind of like the first event
It's lined up in the
Yeah,
right
the first
place.
event post COVID.
Yeah, it's
Pandemic.
lined up in the right place.
Yeah, we're really excited.
Yeah.
I shaved for the first time in a year and a half today.
There you go.
You know?
Jack's getting ready. He's getting ready.
Came out of the cave and shit,
You know?
So there's gonna be an open mic.
There's gonna be an open mic, brother. Preed One, talented beat maker, producer. He's gonna be coming down all the way from Northern Cali. He's gonna be doing a 20-minute live beat set, and we're gonna have an open mic during his performance for any MCs that wanna get up and got something to share. You will have your opportunity. So get ready, practice and flows.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad that you leave room for people who want to express themselves, because I'm sure that there's going to be poets. There's a lot of poets, a lot of women poets in our community that have a lot of things to say. And there's a lot of aspiring MCs that are youth, and that they're going to get the torch of whatever we laid down. Hopefully we laid down a good road that, they follow, because knowing yourself, knowing your culture as best as you can, and applying it into your life is dramatically changing, not only for you, but for whoever's around you.
That's right.
Because, I mean, I know your page, I know your booth, and you affect everyone around you. That's an individual who knows his tonal and knows how to manage it.
Thank you for the reflection, brother.
Yeah. So have a good time, man. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. My performance is on Saturday with the hip hop Viva Mezcal.
So when does the show start on Friday? And so the show on Friday, it starts a little later, but
6
on
p.m.
6 p.m. and then on Saturday it's gonna start at
11
a.m.
And for the diehards, they could even get there early, because we're going to be building the altars for the ceremony. They could partake in that as well.
And then for Sunday,
it'll be just like a wind down. We'll have food. We'll have some DJs. The homies with the dub sound system, Zona de Cultura dub. We're going to be there with their big old speakers, all camouflaged, all beautiful. They're going to be rocking it for us. There'll be food. There'll be vendors. And I'm working on having a native Peruvian cumbia band show up on Sunday to make everybody dance a little bit.
Nice. Sounds good. Sounds like a good lineup. Thank you so much for doing it. I know it's not easy. Nothing we do independently is easy, and no one's going to come out here and say, hey, we're going to do this for you, or give us, these grants or whatever. I mean, I guess if you get organized enough and you want to follow those roads, you can open up that. But everyone tentatively, or confirm, or you got to make plans quick, because today is Wednesday and you got a decision to make to go either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Mexica New Year, brought to you by Jaguar and
free event,
First Nations Syndicate
organization. And
shout out to all the performers that are going to be showcasing their material at the event.
I want to give a shout out to my brother Sub One.
Oh, Sub is dope.
He's been instrumental, super helpful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Sub.
My respects.
And all of his crew, because
all the crew.
Yeah, I could see they support his music, and he is a part of our music and our genre. Right. And as we build new events and new things, everybody here is going to be, one family, at least for that event, and know that we are all we got. There's nobody else. There's nobody else that's going to come out and do this intention for us, 500 years of genocide, and we're starting here at this little event.
And then do all that work and give it away for free.
Yeah.
So it's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Come out.
If you're watching this and you go to Coachella and you spend your $500 or your $1,000 for those tickets, best believe we expect you to come to this event.
For free.
For free.
That's kind of cool, man. For free is love to the community.
Totally.
So.
And we're going to have raffles. We're going to have free prizes. There's going to be a lot of free stuff going on too. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be really nice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You might come up on a sweater and a hat and a necklace. You know what
and then I saw Kiddo, Viva Mezcal. Are they confirmed?
East of the River.
Mad Max.
East of the River is confirmed. So we got Viva Mezcal. We got Kiddo. We got Mac. And now we have your DJ, which off the top of the head, I don't know. Forgive me.
Oh man, I worked with that dude at Saya.
Got him somewhere in my phone.
DJ Warlock?
No,
not Warlock.
Not Warlock. Drastic.
DJ Drastic.
DJ Drastic. I worked with him.
He's going to be spinning and running our turntables the whole day.
Wow. He's a professional. I've worked with him before. He's definitely, he actually spun one of my shows way back
props
in the day.
to that brother, because I don't know. I don't
East
think
of
he knows
the
what he
river.
signed up for.
East of the river. East of the river is no joke. These brothers
talented,
organize themselves and put out some cool ass material, cool ass videos. Their hip hop is in the underground. When you're talking about Gavilan and Reverie and all that, they're all up in that whole area.
So again, this is Zero of El Vuh. We got Jag from Mexica New Year. He has a huge event coming up this coming weekend, 3-day event. We are going to be posting more information about Zero's workshop on Zero's Instagram and on the LA Natives Instagram.
Yeah.
For all the subscribers on our website, we'll send you guys messages as well. And we're looking forward to seeing you guys there. It's been a great week. We have the Indigenous Designer coming up this Sunday, right, Zero?
Yep. Indigenous Designer, man. That's going to be cool because we'll be able to talk to somebody about outside of music. Like, what is his inspiration? How is he applying the indigenous part into his fashion and his design? That's going to be interesting to see that perspective. Because when we develop events like Mexica New Year and have products to sell there that are professionally done, wow, then you're hitting levels like Smorgasbord and things that, where the real economy is at. Right here, we're just trying to deal with nickels and dimes. But eventually, we want to get to a place where we hold place in Los Angeles and city officials ask us to do things because we hold good events and those events are impacting our community.
We definitely have the numbers. We just got to unite in the manner of power and respect.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
And know that we're family and that we're all going to screw up and we're all going to just know that the screw up, you have to be in control of how heavy that screw up's going to be. You could be like, oh, sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Or you could be like, oh, I got to get kicked out because I, snapped on somebody.
That's right.
We know we come from that place where somebody snaps on somebody.
Oh, for sure. It's good to know how to fix those snaps, our unity is of the most importance.
Especially during this time.
And our unity is super, super important. Before I go, because I just got to give a shout out to all the sisters that are going to be performing. I don't want to leave them out, We have a young sister known as Joy. She's an upcoming artist. She's really, really talented. We have another sister coming through, Malavi. Really young in her career, but shows a lot of promise. We have Goddess Palomex coming through, bringing that feminine power. We have Sister Puka One performing with Gruesome Twosome. We have I don't know the sister's name from Indigenous Cats, but Indigenous Cats going to be representing, and one of their halves is a sister as well. So much props to the mujeres that are going to be on our stage too, representing.
Right on, man. And big ups to you, man, to your organization, your patience, your investment. This is already a successful event. That's right. People on LA Natives are already making plans to either go or figure out how to go next year. And, as we grow in LA Natives, this will definitely be one of the events that, we highlight. And, this is our version of, community.
This is our version of Coachella, guys.
Yeah. Eventually.
Yeah. And
Nice.
I really appreciate everyone tuning in. Again, this is Zero of El Vuh. This is Jack. Where can everyone follow you?
You can reach out to me at Diosito Jaguar on Instagram. And you can also follow us at First Nation Syndicate. And where else can you find us? That's about it. And we have a Mexica New Year Los Angeles page on Facebook. You can look that up as well.
Well, thanks for coming, brother. I really appreciate your
Thank
time.
you, brother, for inviting me.
And remember, guys, that The road to community is difficult. But there are these markers in the calendar where we can focus on and working out those differences. Maybe not in a public debate, but in a friendly hi. Or in, wow, I really like what you made there. Or I really like this artist who's playing here. Because we're commemorating not only the Mexica New Year, I know that that's what it's named, but really the return of the young ones, the young flowers, the young deers, the young birds. Springtime is here. Be very aware of it. Hold it in your heart. Connect with it, just like you connect to the sunrise, just like you connect to the moonlight. Come with that energy. Mexica New Year. We'll see you Sunday. LA Natives. Tlazocamatli. Umeteo.